We're back and we continue our Decision 2019 coverage with the primary coming up on June 25th. We welcome the challenger in the Oneida County executive race, Dave Gordon, taking on Anthony Pazhani, the incumbent in the Republican primary. Thanks for being here. I want to get right to the questions. The incumbent is running on the platform of experience and his record. Let's talk about your platform and saying there needs to be a change in leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I bring an experience different from Anthony Pazhani because I've ran successful small businesses, so I understand the struggles that are prevalent in our community with the high rate of taxes for small businesses and for individuals who live here, as well as being a lawmaker. I was a county legislator. That's something that Anthony Pazhani never had the privilege of doing, was serving the community as an actual lawmaker, drafting legislation in the best interest of the people. I pushed on the floor as a legislator term limits. Unfortunately, it wasn't successful, but as a county executive, I'm going to push for term limits again. I'm looking at things being fiscally conservative, actually reducing taxes. My opponent continues to send out mailers to the public talking about how he's held the line on taxes, but we have a community that's being taxed out of their homes. They're leaving for places like Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and even Florida. We have to really hone in on what the real issues are, and that's the high rate of taxation here, and we have to cut taxes.
The state, the governor pushing for consolidation, Oneida County was big on that, and so many villages we've seen dissolved. Do you think Oneida County's done enough in terms of consolidation? Can Oneida County do more, and how do you consolidate without losing services or fear of losing services?
Yeah, I agree. We do have to do more with consolidation. In fact, I blame this administration for not setting the bar with their own message of consolidation. In fact, the county executive has increased the Oneida County budget by nearly $100 million since taking office, more than doubling the debt here in Oneida County. That is not consolidation of services. I want to work with our local municipalities around the county to find cost-saving measures. There's lots of things that we can do. There's things that are currently being done but could be done better, such as DPW services here in Oneida County and other services where we can consolidate those services and not only provide a better service to the people, but a more cost-effective one.
You brought up the gaming compact, saying that you think the disbursement should be handled differently. Your opponent calls the payout fair and says leadership in the villages and the towns and municipalities around Turning Stone would agree with him. I want to give you an opportunity to again explain how you think the payout for the gaming compact should be handled differently.
Yeah, I don't think the people of those areas that were greatly affected by the compact, the 2013 compact, that as a legislator I actually voted against. I thought that it was unfair that the county take the initiative and implement this type of situation that hurt the people of those areas. Currently, we get $19 million from the Oneida Indian Nation Revenue Agreement. $19 million in those areas that are affected. They're getting a little over $1 million total for all of those municipalities. My plan calls for allocating $5.25 million to those communities. Because don't forget, those communities lost their ability to levy taxes, local taxes, school taxes on all of those properties out there. Town of Verona, 40% of their taxable property went land into trust. So we have $19 million coming in. My 2021 budget that I'll be introducing this week to the general public to reduce property taxes by 5%, also reducing the sales tax by 0.25%, just to start. We'll also be implementing more money to those communities.
I want to talk about the U District. It was announced 2 years ago. Wheels are now in motion, building the Nexus Center with other parts of the plan, you know, still on the table. What's your take on the U District, and what's your take on gaming, and is that a viable option for downtown Utica?
Well, I don't believe that there should be another casino, another tax-exempt casino here in Oneida County, especially in downtown Utica. I think gambling and drug addiction, they go hand in hand. You know, you look at this administration and how they've said they tried to fight the opioids, but in pushing gambling, that again continues to add to addiction and some of the problems with addiction. But further, to look at that even further, we have to start looking at propping up small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of any community. And so what this administration has done is they have used taxpayer funds to try to create an economy. And that doesn't work. That has never worked for us. Look at the failed Nano project up at Marcy that we threw hundreds of millions of dollars in taxpayer money to try to lure in a company. It doesn't work. This Nexus Center and all of the things happening at the U District is more public funding. It's more taxpayer dollars to try to stimulate an economy. What we have to do is we have to cut taxes. We have to promote small businesses. I'd love to see something like the U District, but I'd like to see more small businesses, more shops, more people involved in the process, and not just the Oneida Indian Nation and what the auditorium and the Audit Authority and things like that.
A lot of that money, though, coming from the state. So nice to see taxpayer money coming here. You just feel in a different way.
Well, again, I think that's a fundamental and ideological difference between myself and my opponent. Somebody who endorsed Andrew Cuomo for governor that believes more in a socialistic approach. I don't believe in using taxpayer money to try to stimulate an economy. I don't believe in that. I believe that this money from the state should be used for infrastructure. We have crumbling bridges here in Oneida County. We have crumbling sewer system. That's what taxpayer money is supposed to be used for. And when we can reduce taxes and provide good services, that's when we're truly doing our job.
Dave Gordon challenging the incumbent in the Oneida County executive race, the Republican primary happening on June 25th. We're back with more.